In the forest one dark night, a large insect hid behind a tree. A wild boar, frightened and alone, ran through the trees. The reason? A big scary bug was chasing it at lightning speed. Boom! In an instant, the insect caught the boar and tore it to pieces very quickly. This bug is a nightmare big, nimble, and armed with deadly claws. But fear not, for in this forest, there are always bigger predators. Enter a group of hunters, already on the scene and ready to take down the creature. They fight fiercely, and guess what? The hunters emerge victorious. The huge insect lay roasted at their feet, to the cheers of thousands watching on the screen. The heavenly knights had won, defeating the classed as giant locust. Human, 1, monster, 0. The final score seems stable. This time, the final score is stable, said the man in the white robe while thoughtfully adjusting his glasses. But wait, this was no fairy tale. This was a big game, unlike any other. The game is based on the real world, with a twist. 20 years ago, portals to fantasy worlds started popping up everywhere. Imagine magical creatures and spells straight out of a book. They called this world the forest. After humans explored it, they concluded that although the forest was dangerous, it could not interact directly with the real world. Nothing from the forest could pass through the portal, only the magical objects and abilities that the explorers acquired. Eventually, the tech company Shenchuang took ownership of the forest and used technology known only to them. They turned it into a huge game called Survival in the Apocalypse. People flocked to sign up, become knights, and plunge into the challenge of surviving in another world. Even with death lurking, those bored with everyday life jumped into the thrill. They are undaunted by the risk of dying forever. Today, most people have visited other worlds, and some wealthy people even hire adventurers to explore them. It's more than just a game, it's a masterpiece. And the person behind this masterpiece, Lin Chan, one of its creators. But not everyone is happy with Lin Chan's actions. A man entered the office, facing the crowd with a letter in hand. He looked ready to confront Lin Tian. This man, Lu Daolong, was an important figure, connected to company bigwigs and high-level players. He was angry that Lin Tian had changed important game data without permission. Lin Tian knew that he had messed up by not seeking approval first, but he acted to keep the game fair. The recent chaos had messed things up, and he had to act. But Lu Daolong wouldn't back down. He arrests Lin Tian, demanding to know who allowed him to disrupt the company's plans. Lin Tian sticks to his stance. As the person in charge of the game's content, he knew the potential chaos that could occur if the changes were undone. Realizing that Lin Tian wouldn't budge, Lu Daolong changed tactics. He emphasized that the company was counting on him and didn't want any excuses. He wanted clear and simple results. If he didn't get what he wanted, everyone would lose their jobs, a threat that didn't sit well with the other employees, who were worried about their livelihoods. The employees were already upset, feeling overworked and underappreciated. They had tried to voice their grievances, reminding Lin Tian to abide by the rules. They felt he was acting like a boss, adding to their workload. Lu Daolong hinted that if Lin Tian didn't like it, he could quit. Lin Tian was confused by their attitude. Their goal was to make a game that everyone could enjoy, something that was in line with his principles. Just as he was about to answer, someone interrupted him. It was Lu Yu, a beautiful woman with a calming demeanor. She urged him not to act rashly. Seeing her, Lin Tian calmed down and decided to postpone the conflict. Lin Tian was in a bind. Drowning in debt, this job was his lifeline. But he also wondered if it was safe to continue working for the company. He needed time to think. Lu Daolong doesn't force him, but explains that Lin Tian must make a decision. Lin Tian needs to understand his position and the reasons behind the boss's actions to avoid mistakes in the future. Later, Lin Tian and Lu Yu sit on a park bench, chatting. He thanked her for her advice, which had saved his job. Lu Yu worries that Lin Tian's dispute with the company will backfire. Considering the company's dangerous utilization of the forest to eliminate opponents in the real world, she was worried about Lin Tian, who often ventured into the forest. Lin Tian agrees, realizing that he might be on thin ice. He promised to handle the situation. Lu Yu smiled, relieved. When she returned to the office, Lin Tian couldn't take his eyes off her. Lu Yu was his only confidant in the company, a bright spot in his gloomy world. He couldn't just let her go. With determination, he called out to her as he walked away. Lin Tian warns her that the company and the world are about to undergo significant changes. He vowed to protect her and do his best for her. Lu Yu responded with more than just words. She kissed his cheek, expressing her trust. Whatever lies ahead, she hopes Lin Tan will take care of her. Lin Tan has discovered a secret that the company is hiding, a secret that could change the entire world. He had discovered it by accident, and now he had to be careful. Lin Tan knows that leaving the company will be risky, not just because of the debt collectors, but because the company might see him as a threat. He was already trapped too deep to save himself now. To survive, he has to be prepared. They could attack him at any time. Meanwhile, the 76th Shenshuang project meeting was taking place in the conference room. One of the higher-ups relayed important information. The forest was expanding, signaling a major event was about to happen. However, there was one problem. There was no sign of the Lord of the Forest they were expecting. Lu Daolong pointed out that Lin Tian, the game developer, kept rejecting their offer, feeling that something was wrong. Other participants in the meeting confirmed that Lin Tian had uncovered the secrets of the forest. Someone suggested eliminating him immediately, arguing that the secret could destroy the world and should not be known by ordinary people. They recognized that Lin Tian was a talented software engineer whom they had manipulated by burying his family in debt. Since Lu Daolong had devised the plan, he was assigned to handle it. The plan was simple: kill Lin Tian in the forest. It was easy, just lure him into the forest and bring him out in a lifeless state. No risk, no problem. Lu Daolong eagerly accepted the task, having waited for this opportunity. Amidst the chaos of the forest, the sounds of battle resounded. Finally, the atmosphere calmed down, and Lin Tian and Lu Yu appeared among the corpses. Lu Daolong sneered at Lin Tian's clothes, not expecting that he would use the game facilities to equip himself. He also didn't anticipate his knight being defeated. He wondered when Lin Tian started preparing, but it didn't matter now. Grinning, Lu Daolong attacked. Bam! A sword pierced through Lin Tian's chest. It was revealed that Lu Yu, his trusted ally, was a traitor. Lin Tian looked devastated before collapsing, shocked and in disbelief that the person closest to him had betrayed him. 10 years ago, Shenquang Technology discovered that a forest from another dimension had encroached on Earth, forcing humans to coexist with it. However, it wasn't that simple. The jungle continues to expand, and within a decade, the forest is predicted to swallow the Earth completely, which means humans will have to live in the forest permanently. Lin Tian, one of the architects of the game designed to navigate this new reality, knows the truth despite the management's cover-up. He knows too many company secrets, which leads to his imprisonment. Although he managed to prepare himself and defeat his captors, he was eventually betrayed by Lu Yu. The betrayal was very shocking. Lu Yu, whom Lin Tian had trusted, revealed her true intentions. She reveals that her life has been manipulated by the company, from the death of her parents to her mounting debts. It was all orchestrated to ensure the success of the company's plan, by utilizing Lin Tian's exceptional talent in game development. Lu Yu was just the final piece in their scheme. But you know, abilities and skills can backfire, he said with a smile, watching his senior struggle. Lin Tian felt a deep sting of betrayal. Lu Daolong then interrupts, explaining that their mission is to kill Lin Tian, but they won't get their hands dirty. Instead, they left him in the forest, intending for him to be killed by the monsters he had helped create. How tragic and ironic. As they left, disappearing into the portal, Lin Tian was left alone, resigned to his fate. He felt too tired to fight back, seemingly helpless. But then, a system message appeared in his fading consciousness. The situation threatening his life had triggered the emergency protocol. The forest system went to work, and in an instant, the identity of the Forest Lord was downloaded into him. Success. Lin Tian reincarnated as a Tier 1 praying mantis. The system registered his skills. Flash, an active skill, and Jungle Instinct, a passive skill. Not bad. Bright light illuminated the clearing as Lin Tian opened his eyes, now seeing the world from a different perspective. He wasn't human anymore, but that was the least of his worries. He was overjoyed knowing that he had deceived the company. They believed that his armor was his ace, but his new form was the real trump card. When the people gathered in the forest, they discovered a powerful new creature, the Lord of the Forest. Although this creature has been missing for some time. Records prove its existence and the fear it instills in every race due to its overwhelming power. According to research, the place was once ruled by the mighty Lord of the Forest. Although he has long disappeared, the fear he instilled remains. The power of master-class creatures remained after his death, posing a threat to their game. Lu Daolong stepped forward to solve this problem, determined to eliminate the threat completely. Lin Tian, who was also on the team, claimed that they had no leads. If he found anything, he promised to report it immediately, or so he told the company. In reality, it was part of his escape plan. The power they were hunting is now hers, paired with a jungle system that will make her even stronger. His first mission, survival. The monsters of the jungle were on the hunt, and he was their prey. His task was simple: survive and earn 1,000 jungle points. Lin Tian is no stranger to forest adventures. Now in the dark forest, spectral wolves swarmed him. Thanks to jungle instinct, he could dodge their attacks with ease. The spectral wolves were small in size, but their strength lay in their numbers. However, Lin Tian didn't need to worry. His flash skill allowed him to dart and attack at lightning speed. Jungle instinct kept him on track. The combination of his skills was unbeatable. With his extensive knowledge of the jungle, Lin Tian skillfully utilizes everything the jungle has to offer. One of his tactics is to use man-eating flowers, which only activate when triggered by outside stimuli. Once ensnared, escape was almost impossible. In his new form, Lin Tian moved freely, making killing monsters an easy task. As the new ruler of the forest, he found it easy to defeat his enemies. After a particularly grueling fight, Lin Tian realized that his stamina was almost depleted. However, he managed to reach level 3 thanks to the plants and monsters he fought. Tired, but feeling more at home in the forest than in the human world, he stopped for a moment to rest. While daydreaming, she missed the mission update from the system. The absence of a message indicated one thing: the threat had not disappeared. Suddenly, her jungle instincts sounded the alarm. A wolf lurked nearby, waiting to pounce. The atmosphere became tense. It was a cunning move. It caught even a seasoned professional like Lin Tian off guard. But this wolf was no ordinary predator. It was a level 6 spectral lord wolf. Lin Tian couldn't be completely blamed for letting his guard down in the middle of the battle. The possibility of a high-level lord appearing was very small, and he couldn't predict it. Although he had been reborn as a forest king, he was only level 3. The gap in their levels was so great that just by standing near the wolf, he could feel its overwhelming aura. Lin Tian tried to strategize, but the wolf wasted no time in attacking. Dodging was his only option, but his stamina was drained quickly. The wolf's unrelenting attacks landed right on Lin Tian's body, causing him to grimace in pain. The beast was fast and ferocious, and although he could handle it easily in the past, now even level 6 monsters were a real threat. He needed time to regroup his strength, but the wolf didn't give up, leaving Lin Tian no room to breathe. Parrying wasn't an option. Things looked bleak. He realized that he would die if he didn't act fast. It was a terrifying experience, but he wasn't ready to give up yet. Lin Tian had survived the company's scheme, outsmarted them, and was reborn as the lord of the forest. Giving up now felt futile. His memories and anger fueled his will to live. It wasn't the company that irritated him the most. He already knew that they would try to kill him from the start. It was Lu Yu's betrayal that hurt the most. The person she had mentored and trusted, who had helped her countless times and guided her through the intricacies of the forest, had turned against her. The betrayal was extremely painful. Survival was his top priority now, all for the sake of revenge. Without a second thought, Lin Tian's wings began to flap. Escaping was his only chance. He quickly turned around and used his wings to escape with his remaining strength. In an instant, he traveled a considerable distance, seemingly shaking the spectral wolf lord. However, it wasn't that easy. Although the wolf was left behind, it activated its blood-tracking ability, following Lin Tian's every move. Lin Tian knew he couldn't escape easily. His mind was racing, trying to devise a plan. None of his usual tricks would work against a level 6 opponent. Then he looked at a tree ahead and saw an opening. In a split second, Lin Tian leaped into the air. His goal wasn't to fly, he hadn't mastered that yet. Instead, he aimed for the tree, climbing it with all his might. Both mentally and physically, he pushed himself to the limit. She had done everything she could. Now, all she could do was hope. The wolf was chasing, closing in. But Lin Tian had one last trick up his sleeve: Stalagmite Bear Ruler, level S. The moment the bear became the center of attention, Lin Tian took the opportunity and ran. For the first time in a long time, he breathed a sigh of relief. Below, the giants were locked in battle. Lin Tian knew he couldn't survive another fight. He was in no condition to face those heavyweight opponents. However, true protagonists don't shy away from the impossible. The system seemed to agree, telling him that if he escaped from that place, his mission would fail. As he fled, the mission kept looming over his mind. He thought that the bear would not be part of the mission. In the absence of the wolf, he thought there was nothing to worry about. True to his prediction, the bear emerged victorious. The system beeped, signaling the mission was complete. Along with the promised forest points, he unlocked his skill bar. Now he could upgrade his skills using those points, just like in the old system. Lin Tan was interested in the skill bar. As he had expected, the Nether Wolf King was defeated easily by the bear. When he checked it, he found various categories of skills. First were the basic skills, such as installing poison, stealth, invisibility, and flight, all at quite affordable prices. Then, there were advanced skills, where he saw Monster's Will at a price of 1,000 jungle points. This skill can summon the Jungle Lord's will to scare monsters, but with a condition. The stronger the effect, the higher the risk of losing the will. The A and S level categories are currently empty, and the system store is not up and running yet. This was quite exciting for Lin Tian, who decided to find a safe place to learn everything. However, luck wasn't on his side and things didn't go as planned. After facing the wolf, the bear wasn't willing to give up. The bear rushed up the tree, determined to finish him off. With no other options in sight, Lin Tian ran. There was no time to waste. He darted through the trees, hoping to outrun the bear. But the beast didn't give up, no matter how fast Lin Tian moved. What made it worse was that he only had one life. One hit from the bear would end the game. His only hope lay in the skills he could gain with jungle points. He couldn't hesitate. His opponent was proving to be more dizzying than expected. Poison attacks were useless against the bear's strong hide. Stealth could not be used against the perception of earth attributes. As for flying, it had previously seemed useless, but now it was exactly what he needed to escape. Unfortunately, the bear had damaged his wings, thus rendering the skill useless. Suddenly, the bear split the tree in half with ease. Lin Tian had to act fast. With his stamina dwindling, he could feel death approaching. All that was left was his final choice, Monster's Will. In an instant, the skill was mastered. Just then, under the moonlight, Lin Tian appeared before his opponent. At that moment, Lin Tian had no choice but to attack or die. With lightning speed, Lin Tian unleashed a barrage of 99 lightning strikes, piercing the bear with flashes of light. The victory was hard-earned, but it was his. However, as the system had warned, victory came at a cost. An excruciating pain radiated throughout Lin Tian's body, bringing him to his knees. This wasn't just a system restriction. This was something much more serious. The remnants of the Jungle Lord's consciousness were struggling to control his life. Meanwhile, back at Shanwang Technology Company, the criminals, who believed that they had seen the last of Lin Tian, met with the management team. Lai Daolong reported that Lin Tian had died in the forest, paving the way for Lu Yu to take over his role in developing apocalypse survival. The company director had high hopes for Lu Yu, urging her not to disappoint. However, he was particularly interested in the latest information on the Jungle Lord. Lu Yu shared insights from her previous research, explaining that a high-level monster in the history of the jungle was known as a master. Despite having been killed, their will and power remained in some form, potentially being passed down to other creatures through some form of reincarnation. However, the hare risked being controlled by the will of the previous forest master, becoming a puppet without consciousness, allowing the ancient master to rule once more. A board member voiced concern over the dangers of seeking this power, warning of significant risks. However, the director recognized these dangers but saw the potential benefits. He believed that controlling this power was essential for humanity to venture into the jungle and encouraged taking risks for the potential rewards. Lu Yu respectfully assured his commitment to the task, promising to find the power of the Lord of the Forest. Meanwhile, within the forest, Lin Tian wrestled with the spirit of the previous forest lord, his screams echoing through the trees. He struggled to maintain his consciousness against the Forest King's attacks, enduring excruciating pain. Although his mind began to falter, Lin Tian's strong determination to seek revenge against those who had wronged him fueled his strength. This determination allowed him to confront and repel the Forest Lord's spirit, culminating in a powerful release of energy. The process was as painful as when one's life was forcibly taken, but Lin Tian's efforts were not in vain. He emerged alive, albeit spiritually significantly damaged. Despite his victory, Lin Tian had shape-shifted and evolved into a new monster. He struggled to maintain his human nature and character, realizing the need for Helen Butterfly Elf's program to fortify his soul from becoming a full-fledged monster. The Helen Butterfly Elf, a race with light attributes and excellent auxiliary skills, was intended as an NPC guide. Lin Tian had proposed this program years ago, but faced resistance from the management, especially Liu Daolong. Despite the objections, Lin Tian remained steadfast, emphasizing the importance of these elves. The directors supported Lin Tian's decision, advising Liu Daolong to focus on his duties rather than debating Lin Tian's choice. The game lacked creatures that could serve as guide NPCs, and Helen Butterfly Elf would be an ideal companion. Although Liu Daolong complained about the design, deeming it unimportant, the director intervened, insisting that Lin Tian take responsibility for his decision and the direction of the game. Liu Daolong, who was in charge of combat and risk management, disagreed with Lin Tian's plan. He suggested that if Lin Tian didn't want to handle it, he should find another worker. As a result, Liu Daolong assigned the mission to Luo Feng from the second team. Was confident that Luo Feng would excel at it, since he enjoyed such missions. Now, Lin Tian had to act fast. Helen Butterfly Elf's powers could increase his spiritual strength, potentially unlocking unlimited potential for his monster abilities. Initially, Lin Tian sought corporate support to access the Helen Butterfly Elf. However, with the mission handed over to Luo Feng, Lin Tian regretted that Liu Daolong didn't take the task seriously enough to follow through. It was unfortunate that Liu Daolong didn't realize the potential value of the mission. Lin Tian remembered that Luo Feng, an experienced and skillful jungle player and forager from the second team, often targeted him in the forest. If Lin Tian met up with Luo Feng, it would be a significant challenge. Therefore, Lin Tian needed to unlock additional skills before facing him. Since Luo Feng had already been assigned a task, Lin Tian had to prepare well to deal with him. Lin Tian decided to start by completing other common missions to earn points for evolution. The next main mission, protecting the forest, was perfect for this. As the king of the forest, his job was to repel intruders and defend the various clans within the forest. This long-term mission consists of several sub-missions that offer different rewards. Completing the main mission can unlock BL skill panels and monster modes, while simpler daily missions award 50 or 100 jungle points. For example, daily missions involve tasks such as helping weak mushroom clans to rebuild their strongholds or mediating disputes between various jungle factions. Some missions were very easy but offered minimal rewards. Lin Tian was more interested in the main missions, which promised exciting rewards, such as unlocking monster modes. He decided to start by completing a few daily missions to unlock skills that could save lives. Lin Tian assisted a mushroom clan in development, earning 50 forest points when they happily invited him to taste their unusual potions. He dodged an attack from a flirtatious and aggressive female spider monster and earned another 100 points. He also protected a bird egg from a venomous snake monster, while fending off an attack from a pecking baby eagle. Exhausted, he finally accumulated 700 points to unlock a skill. Faced with the choice between attaching poison to her attacks, becoming invisible when attacking, or flying at high speed, Lin Tian had to decide which skill would benefit him the most. In addition to choosing a skill, he received a new mission, intruder hunting. This mission involved hunting human players from outside the forest to assert his authority as the lord of the forest. The rewards were lucrative, and this mission also unlocked the shop feature. Lin Tian realized that hunting intruders meant targeting human players, but right now, he was more focused on unlocking the shop feature. This was very important as it allowed him to use jungle points for more than just skills. Energized and ready to begin his journey as a monster, Lin Tian decided to abandon his human identity and fully embrace his role as a true jungle king. Just as Lin Tian was contemplating his next move, the forest erupted with the sound of fighting in the distance, drawing his attention. It seemed to be a fierce clash, which attracted a lot of attention. A group of youths claimed that they had entered the territory of the Helenthoric tribe, and found it less terrifying compared to the stories they had heard. They had been eyeing the Helentropic entrance, looking for a way into the labyrinth. There were rumors that by obtaining the secret key from the center, they would gain access to the world of the real butterfly fairy Helen. Their encounter with a lone goblin does not deter them, as they are more interested in the mysteries that lie within the realm of the body tree. Lured by the promise of a great reward for cracking the code and obtaining the key, they anticipate a simple adventure upon reaching the entrance. However, their journey takes a dangerous turn when they become the target of a surprise attack. An arrow quickly struck their two leaders while they were casually chatting, leaving the rest of the group shocked. The attackers, goblins armed with bows, their ranks swelling with reinforcements. While facing a few goblins seemed manageable, facing hundreds of goblins proved overwhelming. The hunters attempted to fight back, but with such overwhelming odds. Their defeat seemed inevitable. As the goblins prepared to attack the hunters, they found themselves entangled in a circle of fire, trapped by powerful magic. This was no ordinary magic. This was genuine magic used by skilled professionals. Led by Berserker Lu Feng, along with Sorceress Sarah and Archer Chang Ji. The hunters revealed their true purpose, to lure the goblins and eliminate them. A golden arrow lit up the sky, splitting into many other arrows that rained down on the goblins. Lin Tian observed the ensuing chaos from the shadows, unable to intervene due to his current monster form. Although he had the ability to help the hunters, his reluctance to go after innocent targets held him back. However, these hunters were different. They displayed a cunning ruthlessness that left a sour taste in Lin Tian's mouth, willingly sacrificing their own comrades for personal gain. Lin Tian had encountered these types before, but whenever he voiced concerns, the higher-ups dismissed them as unimportant. He had warned the company that the people recruited by Liu Daolong were criminals. Lin Tian was furious at Liu Daolong for allowing Team 2 to engage in unjustified violence. These people had entered the forest to avoid punishment in the real world, and it was Liu Daolong's fault for recruiting them and giving them freedom in the forest under his supervision. However, Liu Daolong's response was just a smile, which made Lin Tian very frustrated. But Lin Tian refused to accept it. Liu Daolong pretended not to know, pretending not to understand Lin Tian's concerns. He even dared to suggest that Lin Tian contact the police if he believed they were engaging in unethical behavior. In short, these people were the bastards who had played a role in the chaos that led to Lin Tian's death. So, if Lin Tian wanted to finish them off, there was no need to hesitate or hesitate morally. However, there was one thing to note. Several hard-hitters were part of their team, with some of them reaching level 13. Their leader, Lu Feng, was a level 15 berserker. Other than that, the rest of the members, who are generally at level 10, are ruthless villains who are ready to take out their enemies without hesitation. Despite rushing to level up quickly by completing missions, Lin Tian remained stuck at level 10. Since utilizing the monster's willpower was forbidden, joining a group with higher-level members was too risky. Fortunately, his previous missions had earned him points, which allowed him to unlock the stealth function. This stealth ability allowed him to approach them unnoticed and plan his next move. Moreover, the daily missions proved to be profitable, offering more than just jungle points. Now, it was up to Lin Tian to complete them, with a little help from his friendly mushroom friend. Meanwhile, high above the forest, a bird hovered, observing everything below it. However, with over 70% of the area shrouded in mist, it was difficult for Lin Tian's spirit pet to see clearly. Although Lu Feng ordered it to come down and observe under the fog, the bird hesitated, aware of the danger of being attacked by monsters in the mountain valley. Ignoring his pet's concerns, Lu Feng was determined to follow through with his orders or threaten to eliminate it if it proved useless. Reluctantly, the pet obeyed, merging with the girl controlling it. Suddenly, an arrow appeared out of nowhere, hitting the spirit pet and injuring the girl. However, Lu Feng showed no concern for the girl, only interested in whether he had gotten any useful information. Fortunately, he had discovered the location of the dungeon, prompting Lu Feng to quickly gather troops and head to the valley. Before long, they came across an extremely dirty and foul-smelling cave. Fresh monster droppings littered the ground, indicating recent activity. While some people in the group considered retreating, Lu Feng had different thoughts, suspecting it might be a trap to divert them to a riskier path. He ordered everyone to continue forward while clearing the obstacles blocking their way. Meanwhile, Lin Tian observed the disgusting sight from above the mushroom-infested cave, hoping that the trap would hinder Lu Feng's progress. However, it seems that they managed to bypass the dirt traps. Nevertheless, Lin Tian had a backup plan, relying on his trusty mushroom allies. Speaking of mushrooms, they weren't just forest dwellers, they'd formed a community and proved to be extremely valuable in the forest. Their main ability, growing, allowed them to freely penetrate the ground, helping to explore the topography of the valley. However, making friends with mushrooms wasn't easy. Lin Tian had to earn their trust, even to the point of not eating their food. In a persistent effort, Lin Tian consumed a large amount of dirt to endear himself to the Mushroom King. Finally, his perseverance paid off, giving him an army of mushrooms at his command. With his mushroom allies by his side, the time came to spread the foul-smelling mushrooms. These mushrooms emitted a pungent scent that drove the monsters wild. As the mushrooms did their job, emitting a pervasive scent, this attracted the appetites of the spirit wolves, preparing them for the hunt. Although Lu Feng's team came out unscathed from the dirt-filled cave, fatigue began to set in among the hunters. However, Lu Feng quickly dismissed their complaints, assuring them that the journey ahead would go smoothly. However, reality proved otherwise. Moments later, a member saw a flash of light ahead, panicking the rest of the group. He ran forward, warning of a pursuing spirit wolf. Lu Feng immediately reassured them, dismissing it as a small monster that was easily defeated. Despite being in a supposedly safe zone on the map, it offered little protection. Undeterred, Lu Feng believed that it was just some low-level monster that had accidentally wandered nearby. However, it was soon apparent that his estimate was wrong. As it turned out, the situation was much worse than they had anticipated, with an unexpected swarm of wolves and various other monsters attacking them. Confused and under attack, the hunters began to realize that they might have been set up. Sensing the increasing danger, Lu Feng ordered a retreat, but their efforts were largely in vain. Just when they thought things couldn't get any worse, a huge mushroom fell from above, terrifying the monsters. While the hunters were relieved by the monster's departure, the respite was short-lived. Emerging from the fog, Lin Chan revealed himself with an ominous grin, catching the hunters off guard. Recognizing Lin Chan, the hunters attempted to beg for mercy and shift the blame onto their company. Initially swayed by their apologies, Lin Chan's hesitation vanished when they attempted to attack him, revealing their true intentions. With swift and decisive action, Lin Chan drove them away, feeling no remorse as he realized that they were irredeemable. With their deaths, Lin Chan gained a significant boost in his intruder hunting mission, gaining forest points and rising to level 11. Despite the lingering hesitation to kill humans, he found solace in ridding the world of such evil individuals. Feeling disconnected from his humanity, he focused on unlocking the flying skill, needing to accumulate an additional 500 points. Returning to his duties, Lin Tian allied with the mushroom, forming a reliable team. After completing his mission, he prepared to leave, setting his sights on executing Plan C in the Darkstone Forest. Meanwhile, in the Darkstone Forest, a goblin rushed to report to his superiors about a group of humans causing chaos. The goblin, infuriated by the disturbance, quickly took action, mobilizing its troops to thwart the humans' movement towards the Shala Tree territory. Determined to protect their territory at all costs, the goblin army prepares for battle against the intruders,